For much of American history, a woman's clothing was a symbol of her place in society, strict, confining, and designed to keep her in the domestic sphere. Dresses and skirts were mandatory, with corsets and layers of petticoats shaping a proper feminine silhouette. These outfits were heavy, uncomfortable, and even dangerous, restricting movement and making daily life difficult. The idea of a woman in pants was scandalous, seen as a direct challenge to male authority and social order. Trousers were a symbol of male power. For a woman to wear them was an act of rebellion. Society used clothing as a way to enforce gender roles and keep women in their place. Before women could fight for rights in education or work, they had to fight for the right to dress freely. The battle for women's rights in many ways began with the fight for more sensible clothing. The struggle to change what women wore was the first step toward changing what women could do. A few bold women wore pants out of necessity or defiance long before it was acceptable. Pioneer women in the West sometimes wore trousers for practical reasons, often hidden under skirts. Some disguised as men to access jobs or freedoms denied to women, using pants as a key part of their disguise. Dr. Mary Edwards Walker, a Civil War surgeon, wore trousers openly for health and hygiene, facing arrest and ridicule. Public reaction was harsh. Women in pants were seen as threats to the social order. These early rebels didn't spark a movement, but they proved the rules could be broken. Each act of defiance chipped away at the rigid dress code. Their courage laid the groundwork for future dress reform. These pioneers showed that changing clothes could be the first step to changing minds. The dress reform movement gained momentum in the mid-1800s thanks to Amelia Bloomer. Inspired by a friend's new outfit, knee-length skirt over loose trousers, Bloomer championed the Bloomer costume for health and freedom. Leading suffragists adopted the look, seeing it as a symbol of liberation. But public backlash was fierce. Ridicule, cartoons, and harassment followed. The controversy over Bloomers overshadowed the fight for women's rights. Activists eventually abandoned the costume to focus on suffrage, realizing they couldn't win both battles at once. Still, the Bloomer movement was a landmark. It was the first organized challenge to restrictive women's fashion. It linked practical clothing to the broader struggle for equality. The short-lived Bloomer craze proved that changing fashion could ignite social change, even if the world wasn't ready yet. The seeds of dress reform had been planted. The fight for sensible clothing would continue, shaping the path to women's emancipation. The freedom to dress was inseparable from the freedom to live fully. Social change and new opportunities forced fashion to adapt. The bicycle craze of the 1890s made long skirts impractical and dangerous, leading to the return of bloomers and split skirts. As women entered factories and took on new jobs during the World Wars, trousers became necessary for safety and efficiency. Rosie the Riveter symbolized this shift. Pants were now patriotic, not just rebellious. Sports also normalized pants for women, with specialized outfits for tennis, hiking, and skiing. Each skirts-only rule, slowly changing public perception. These changes were driven by practicality, not politics, but they chipped away at old taboos. The association of pants with work, health, and patriotism opened the door for everyday wear. Practical needs did what protest alone could not, making pants a part of women's lives. Hollywood stars like Marlene Dietrich and Katharine Hepburn made pants glamorous in the 1930s and 40s, turning them into a symbol of confidence and independence. After W2, pants became casual wear for women, especially among teenagers, but were still rare in formal or professional settings. The women's liberation movement of the 60s and 70s challenged all remaining dress codes. Yves Saint Laurent's Le Smoking Tuxedo and the rise of the pantsuit made trousers acceptable for work and formal occasions. Schools and workplaces slowly lifted bans on women's pants, often after protests and legal battles. Today, women wear pants everywhere, from boardrooms to galas, without a second thought. It's hard to imagine that this simple choice was once scandalous. The journey of pants mirrors the journey of women's rights, from rebellion to normalcy. Every woman in pants today stands on the shoulders of generations who fought for that freedom. The right to dress freely is a testament to the power